exclusively live. And from the Gold Coast, a massive night for fight fans in boxing's Night of Champions, exclusively live. Plus.
Then through to a clash for the Queensland Welterweight title, Darren Hepburn against Laurie Cant over 10 rounds. Now Laurie Cant making a comeback of sorts, made his debut way back in '93, has an edge in experience, but a good battle looms there between Laurie Cant and Darren Hepburn. And not too distant future. And speaking of the welterweights, well, the Queensland title is up for grabs. And Laurie Cant and Darren Hepburn are the two combatants for it. As you take a look at the tail of the tape, you'll see Darren Hepburn is going to enjoy big edge in terms of reach. The bottom line there, 11 centimetres, which equates to 4 to 5 inches in the old language. And both men are in under the 66.67 kilo limit of the welterweight division.
10 stone 7 in the old language. John, as for all our old fight fans down there who can't come to grips with the kilograms like I struggle with them. 10 stone 7.
Laurie Cant will make his way around to the red corner. He's had a sporadic career, made his debut back in '93. A second round knockout victory over Terry Duncan. Most recently in action in June this year against Edgar Waimara, winning in 4 rounds on the Anthony Mundine Mike McCatter undercard in Sydney. And a jeweller by trade as well, a very interesting proposition, but he's up against an interesting proposition because Darren Hepburn, 3 wins, just the 1 loss and 1 draw to his name. Also a switch hitter, he's difficult, he's awkward, and in a sporadic career of Laurie Cant, I wonder about tackling a very difficult, awkward opponent like Darren Hepburn.
John, I think Darren's a very fit young man, very committed and dedicated, trained by Normie Stewart down there at the Burleigh Boxing Gym here on the Gold Coast. This will be a very, very good fight. I think we would have to favour, no, we won't favour anyone, but if you ask me who I think will win the fight, I think that Laurie Cant might just, he's got very, very heavy hands, Laurie Cant, and he can punch. He's, even though out of his 5 wins, he's had 3 KOs.
Well, already we've seen Danny Wilson win the Queensland lightweight title tonight and Dale Hawke winning the Queensland junior welterweight belt. Now they're up to the welterweight ranks for the Queensland title, and here is Andy Raymond.
We are scheduled for 10 3-minute rounds. Once again, this for the vacant Queensland welterweight title. Introducing first and fighting out of the red corner, a jeweller from Brisbane who weighed in at 65.35 kilograms. He is trained by Sid Frey. At 33 fights as an amateur, 8 as a professional. Tonight, looking to put a belt around his waist, Lightning Laurie Cant. Fighting out of the blue corner, he is based on the Gold Coast. Weighed in slightly heavier at 66.10 kilograms. 21 fights as an amateur, 5 fights as a professional. He is trained by Norm Stewart. Make welcome Darren Hepburn. In charge of the action when the bell rings, Mr. Wally Lewis.
Darren. Shake hands, boys. You've both been given your instructions in the dressing room. I expect you to obey my commands at all times. Okay? Good luck. Shake hands. Back to your corners.
Wally Lewis with the final instructions. The Queensland welterweight title up for grabs here. Darren Hepburn, 25-year-old, come out of the blue corner. He's wearing black trunks. Laurie Cant, purple and silver. 24-year-old, and we are underway, scheduled for 10.
Fasten your seatbelts, folks. This is going to be a terrific fight. Laurie Cant walks straight across and meets Darren Hepburn centre ring.
He goes punches up.
Big left hand from Laurie Cant to get proceedings underway. It was a clubbing punch.
Good, clean, hard puncher, Laurie Cant. Terrific effort to come back and beat Edgar Waimara. Edgar Waimara, a regular here on Fox Sports, generally on the undercard to Anthony Mundine. Cant beat Waimara and it was a good effort.
Darren Hepburn also very tall for a welterweight, 189 centimetres or around 6'2" in the old language. Now he switches into the southpaw stance back to orthodox. He will do that throughout the fight. Laurie Cant Oh, showing good defensive skills there, slipping the punch and then unloading.
Very confident fighter, Laurie Cant, considering he's been out of the ring for all that time. He's got a brother, Troy Cant, too, who's quite an accomplished young fighter. Come from up in Brisbane. Both trained with City Frey, I think, up there at Ellen Grove.
Hepburn again stepping Southport.
Punch free.
This time electing to stay with it a little longer. Laurie Cant does look very composed and bleeds with the right hand and catches Darren Hepburn.
Hepburn at the moment is just trying to switch hit. He's trying to move from Southpaw to orthodox and orthodox back to Southpaw, and it's unsettling him. He hasn't settled. Cant has settled down very, very quickly, and is just taking the fight away from Darren Hepburn at this stage. Cant in the purple and white trunks. They actually show like they're blue on our monitor. Hepburn in the black trunks. At the moment, it's just trying to switch hit. He's trying to move from Southpaw to orthodox and orthodox back to Southpaw, and it's unsettling him. He hasn't settled. Cant has settled down very, very quickly, and is just taking the fight away from Darren Hepburn at this stage. Cant in the purple and white trunks. They actually show like they're blue on our monitor. Hepburn in the black trunks.
Step back.
No-nonsense refereeing from Wally Lewis as well.
Terrific experienced referee, Wally Lewis.
And speaking of experience, Brad, as one of our leading referees, you're off to a big fight night coming up in China.
Well, I'm hoping, John, if the fight goes ahead at this stage, it's still up in the air, but I've been fortunate enough to have been appointed to the undercard to the Ruiz versus Holyfield fight, and I'm hoping that comes to fruition. We're a long way to go yet. It's still in the negotiation stages, so I'm looking forward to it. I want to try and climb that Great Wall of China.
Yeah, indeed.
I wonder if I'd be the first Aboriginal ever to climb the Great Wall of China.
Back. Step back.
Concluding stages, round number 1 here. Cleaner punching is coming from Laurie Cant.
Punch free. Punch free.
Darren Hepburn, the switch hitter, is still trying to find his rhythm. Moment in the orthodox stance, but certainly more accurate blows have been landed by Laurie Cant.
I think Darren doesn't need to do that at this stage. He just needs to settle down as we end of the first round. Terrific round for Laurie Cant.
On behalf of Jamie Meyer Fight Promotion, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Osborne Communications.
So we can listen in with the red corner and Laurie Cant.
Straight left, straight right. Okay? Straight left, straight right. If not take yourself a big punch, try to take yourself a hit hard. You hear me? Just get that. The first time you threw your jab straight, it was beautiful. Jab, left, right, left. It worked perfectly. You're not doing nothing, come on. You're not doing enough. Okay, just use your reach. Yeah, right, straight left, straight right. Okay? Right, come in.
Seconds down. Round 2.
Second round underway for the Queensland welterweight title. Darren Hepburn in the black trunks. Laurie Cant, his opponent. Laurie Cant had the better of the opening round, according to Brad Vicali. Likewise, I scored 10-9 for Laurie Cant in the opening round. And as Brad Vicali has warned us, Laurie Cant does have power in both hands.
Back. Step back.
Power's only good, John, if you can deliver that power, and of course a lot of fighters tend to want to try and tee off on their opponent, load up and try and hit too hard. You'll never knock an opponent out if you're going to try. Just let it come naturally. Placement of your punches is very, very important, as we've seen just from Laurie Cant there. Beautiful right hand.
Made his debut as an 18-year-old Laurie Cant, and here he is entering the ring at 24 years of age.
And competitive.
Right, step back.
One of the more composed boxers that we've seen.
Well, considering he's been out of the ring for some, 3.5 years, I think, John, it was a good effort, as I said, against... I'm a fan of Edgar Waimara, and Wally Lewis not too pleased there with Darren Hepburn.
again trying to work the right hand over the top. Now Darren Hepburn backs him up.
Punch free, punch free.
One switching between Southport and Orthodox.
Got good hands, Laurie. Very, very fast hands. He's a very hard man. You look at him, he's got a good, hard body. It looks like he's done the work. As Darren. Darren looks like he's done the work, but Laurie, just look at those punches. Just punching him at will, basically.
He's at 189 centimetres, a 6'2". Darren Hepburn's very big for his weight division. He's a big target at the moment as Laurie Cant unloads.
Hepburn's head's way up too high. He's got a sign on it that says hit me, and he's getting hurt by Laurie Cant. He needs to get that head behind those gloves, use that left lead. He hasn't thrown that left lead to keep his opponent away. For a big, tall man, he's not using that reach to his advantage. He should be leading, using that. He's trying to fight on the inside, and it's not going to work for him. Good defence there.
Backing up Laurie Cant with a left hand as he switched into the Southport stance.
Step back.
Hepburn trying to find an opening. Laurie Cant being very elusive at the moment.
Very well balanced, Laurie Cant. Able to move back, side, every which way. Good defence under the right hand. And Darren, as he backs his opponent back to the ropes, just is ineffective. He just can't seem to do anything when he's got his opponent where he wants him to be. Cant moves to the side and doesn't allow him to do it. Another good round for Laurie Cant.
End of round number 2. Darren Hepburn heads back to the blue corner. There's some problems here.
Have a listen to Sid Frey if we can hear what he's got to say. He'd be happy with his charge.
Straight punching again. Come back to it. Come back to your straight punching, all right? So keep your left hand going, all right? Then the big right hand, Danny. Jab, move in. Jab, move in. Then wait for the big punch after. Don't try and set him up all the time. Jab works lovely, especially when you throw it lovely. Turn into that jab over here. Perfect jab. Breathe up. Come on, breathe up. So we can box better than that, right?
Well, he's very cool, composed, Laurie Cant. They're trying to rev him up in the red corner. Yep. Darren Hepburn springs to his feet out of the blue corner. The Queensland welterweight title is on the line. Here goes round number 3. Brad Vicali has Laurie Cant winning the first 2 rounds. He's backed up by Hepburn there with a right hand. Hepburn in the black, the switch hitter. Laurie Cant does have a tendency to carry his left hand very low, and against the switch hitter, well, that might present some problems.
Very lackadaisical, Laurie. I think he, you see him in the corner, the expression of the face, nothing had changed. He's secure in the fact he knows he's won the first 2 rounds, and he's just not getting carried away with it. Good body punching.
There's that left hand down around his thigh again, Laurie Cant. Darren Hepburn just can't pick him off at the moment. Again into a southpaw stance, trying to find an opening, but he is very good on his feet. Laurie Cant, nimble, hard to catch up with.
Nice left lead by Laurie Cant. See, he's doing to Darren what Darren should be doing to Laurie. Darren needs to lead with that right hand. It's no use. Go with a left hand. Left hand first. Everything comes from your left lead. If you can throw a good solid left lead and get your opponent on the back foot, you're going to make him be in the defensive mode.
Laurie Cant again unloading on Darren Hepburn. Vicious straight right hand.
Punches.
Again, Hepburn just with his head up a little high.
Stop holding.
Darren needs to be able to take stock of this fight, what's going on. He needs to be able to read what's going on, see what Laurie's doing to him and why he's losing the fight. He won't give up, Darren Hepburn. He's a very, very good fighter, a very fit young man. Came back from a horrific motorcycle accident at the very start of his career where he hurt his ankle and was out for quite some time. A tremendous effort to even be here in the ring, and he's a dedicated, committed young man.
Come on, get out of there.
But he needs to be able to change the tide of a fight, and the sign of a good fighter, John, is someone who knows what they're doing wrong and is able to turn it around and change and do different little things that's going to, as we speak, as he hits Laurie Cant with a good right hand there.
Blood from the nose of Laurie Cant.
That right hand just hit the mark.
Again, carrying his hands dangerously low. Laurie Cant inviting trouble.
Laurie's just looking to counter punch, trying to bring Darren in, bring him in, and then counter punch to the body, and then switch his attack to the head. Darren's having a little bit of success with that right hand now as he switched.
Laurie Cant leading with his left hand from his hip, all beneath it.
Well, John, let me tell you, it's very, very hard. While the standard way is to have your left hand up above your chin to protect that, it's the shortest way. As we see the end of round 3, it's very, very hard to detect where a left hand's coming from when it's coming from an opponent's hip. It's very, very hard, and of course, a fighter who's not used to another fighter will always struggle when that left hand comes.
Of course, our feature event is still yet to come. John Wayne PARR and ABDUL RASHEED will battle for the Oceanic Boxing Association junior middleweight title. PARR on the right, the Australian middleweight champion. ABDUL RASHEED on the left, the New South Wales middleweight champion. Both down to junior middleweight, and it looms as an exciting contest. There's never a dull moment when John Wayne PARR is involved. And ABDUL RASHEED, well, he has a very, very good record.
Oh, he's a great fighter. Turned professional just in the year of 2001. Had his entire 5 fights, I think he's had, for 4 wins in 2001, and he has taken New South Wales by storm. He will really test John Wayne PARR tonight. This is a tremendous fight. I'm very excited about this one, John.
Queensland welterweight title is on the line here. Round number 4, Darren Hepburn in the black trunks. Laurie Cant, his opponent. Laurie Cant has done the better so far, leading by 3 points according to Brad Vicali. I have him leading by 2 as Hepburn unloads with the right hand and backed up Laurie Cant.
That's the better fighting from Darren Hepburn. Keeping Laurie on the back foot, using that left lead, followed by that powerful right hand that he has got. Laurie standing on the rope, standing in front of Darren Hepburn. He doesn't need to do that because Darren's quite a good body puncher, and as you can see with those little uppercut, rip body punches that he's throwing, I don't think this fight's over by no means of the stick yet, John. I think Darren Hepburn's still in this fight.
Walked into a shot from Laurie Cant on that occasion, just coming forward, eager in his endeavours.
I just can't work out how a taller fighter with a superior reach and height advantage can walk into a left hand from a shorter fighter. But that's our sport. That's the complexities of the sport of professional boxing. Better round for Darren Hepburn this round. He's got Laurie on the back foot. He's tying him up, just picking him away. I think those body punches are starting to take their toll on Laurie Cant just a little bit.
Digging away to the rib cage again. He's starting to take its toll, one suspects. Hepburn all business here, round number 4. He's dominated the first half of this round.
Big right hand. I think Laurie's struggling with the Southport stance of Hepburn now. Hepburn's staying there. Oh, this fight has turned. The tide of this fight has certainly turned, John.
Digging away to the rib cage, Darren Hepburn. Laurie Cant's in some trouble here in round number 4. After dominating the first 2 rounds, Hepburn started to make a move in round number 3. Certainly round number 4, he's taken over.
Oh, that's tenacity from Darren Hepburn. He's been able to turn it around after losing the first 3 rounds on my unofficial card. He's turned this around and looks like he's got Laurie Cant into all sorts of those body punches to the ribs are really taking their toll on Laurie.
Hepburn sizing up Laurie Cant, looking for a big shot.
Little head clash there, gee.
Laurie Cant looks very fatigued in this round.
I think he's started to slow down a little bit. Certainly the weight of those punches have taken their toll, but I think that he's used a few of his petrol ticks today in those first 3 rounds.
What's the heads?
I know that Darren Hepburn's a very fit man. He'll fight 20 rounds. If this has to go 20 rounds, I know it won't, but Darren Hepburn will be there at the end of it.
Concluding stages, round number 4. Laurie Cant now scores with the uppercut and doubling up with it as well. But Hepburn's still there throwing hard punches and looking to continue the body attack.
Oh, good right hand by Hepburn.
Good round from Darren Hepburn. His best so far, without a doubt. And he heads back to the blue corner. He'll be feeling good about himself. And Laurie Cant in the red corner, well, he's looked a little disinterested at times. They're trying to rev him up.
The body language certainly suggests that he's struggling a little bit. I wonder if we could just have a listen to the blue corner of Normie Stewart.
All right, so when you throw that right hand, come back with the left uppercut. All right? Stay up on him. Keep your hands up all the time, mate. Don't let him go nowhere. Yep. You don't like...
Let's have a look at some of the better action from round number 4. Darren Hepburn certainly on top in that stanza. Oh, he didn't have a lot to come back with.
Round 5.
During the break, referee Wally Lewis walked over and had a little bit of a look at Laurie Cant, a little bit concerned, a little bit of a welt mark underneath his right eye on his right cheekbone as well.
Avricali has Laurie Cant leading by 2. I have him in front by a single point here as we get into round number 5 for the Queensland welterweight title. Hepburn in the black trunks. Lost the first 2 rounds and is starting to come on strong here. And again, switch hitting into a southpaw stance.
Oh, nice left lead by Cant.
Right, step back. Thank you.
We've certainly got a good fight on our hands here, John.
Punch free, come on,
This is just an arm wrestle at the moment, this fight. Cant got out of the blocks very early. Hepburn, with his superior fitness, I feel, has started to get back in, but Cant has the better hands. He's got the speedier hands. But something tells me that Darren Hepburn doesn't want to lose this fight. That's a nice little right cross.
Now again digging away to the left rib cage of Laurie Cant, starting to take its toll. Hepburn.
Punishing punches.
Big savage body shots here against Laurie Cant. No wonder he's fatigued and blowing hard, Laurie Cant. Been a good tactical fight from Darren Hepburn. He showed some ring smarts here.
He has. He copped a little bit of a touch-up in the early part of those first couple of rounds, and he never got flustered, never kept away. You know, he turned it around when I sort of thought that the fight was starting to slip around from him. In round 3, I said he's got to do something to turn this around because this fight's going to slip away from him. But to his credit, he's been able to stick to his game plan, and he's turned this fight around. Or so far anyway.
Punch free, come on boys, get out of there yourselves.
He's certainly doing all the work in there, Darren Hepburn at the moment. Laurie just is a passenger. Oh, big right hand by Laurie Cant. Clubbing right hand to the and a left hook just hit Hepburn right on the nose.
Still digging away to the body as well, Darren Hepburn.
Heads are dangerously close in there. Gee, I just hope we don't have a head clash here.
Again, Laurie Cant is coming well under the limit here, 65.35. He's come in at 66.67, the limit. He does appear to be fatiguing. No doubt the body shots are having their toll, but even prior to Hepburn getting on top and doing some good work to the body, Laurie Cant just gave a suggestion of being a little disinterested.
He does. The body language just tells me, and of course the snapper's gone out of his punch. He still looks like he's got a lot of power in those punches if they can land. But as I said, power's what use is power if you can't use it, if you can't land with it. On it. As I say that, he hits Darren with a terrific overhand right. But Hepburn is all over him. Hepburn wants to fight on the inside like he was wanting to fight earlier on. That's another good round for Darren Hepburn.
Well, the halfway stage of the Queensland Welterweight Championship. And there is Darren Hepburn. He's working hard.
He would have done the work down in the gym down there at Burleigh. It's a terrific boxing gym down there, John. A lot of the fighters go down there for sparring. As we have a listen to Norm Stewart.
Stay up on him. Don't leave him alone.
Okay.
And relax. Don't give him no rest.
I'm in front, aren't I?
I think so. I think you're well in front, but he's landed a couple of quick punches.
Round 6.
Well, I have them 48 apiece going into the second half of this fight. Round number 6 gets underway. Darren Hepburn in the black trunks coming on strong here. Laurie Cant, who won the first 2 rounds, starting to slow up. He still leads by a point according to Brad Vicali, but certainly Darren Hepburn has had the better of the last 2 rounds. What does Laurie Cant have left in the tank? He's going to have to find something, because Darren Hepburn, he does give the impression of being able to go 20.
He does, he certainly does. And I know that the main contributors down in that gym, John Smokey Dawson, I know you're probably watching tonight, Smokey. Well done for preparing this young man. You've done a terrific job. Charlie Dunn and all the other boys down there. As Hepburn walks into a right hand there.
Well, we know Laurie Cant has good power, but his best shots, Darren Hepburn's taken them and hasn't flinched.
I think the sting's. I actually think the sting's gone off Laurie's punches a little bit, and I think that now Darren knows that he can't hurt him. He copped a little bit of a touch-up in the first couple of rounds, and Darren's confident in the fact that he hasn't hurt him that much, and he's still there. I think if it comes down to the two, I think Cant is the more effective puncher and the cleaner puncher, but by gee, when it comes to willpower and determination, Darren Hepburn's got it all.
It's quite a contrast here. The quantity of punches coming from Hepburn, but perhaps the quality coming from Laurie Cant. He's not throwing a lot, but invariably when he does, they are good shots.
Yeah, he's just letting Hepburn fight his fight now as he walks into a big right hand. Still got good hand speed. Oh, that's a big right hand. Oh.
As I mentioned, Darren Hepburn does take these shots very well.
He's very tough on the chin. And that comes with his fitness. And, he's a dedicated, committed young man, as I said. He's walked into some big punches in this round. They are worrying those. Oh, that's a big right hand by Cant. That hurt Darren Hepburn, that one.
Well, Cant has his own problems as well in terms of fatigue. Darren Hepburn right on top of him, but not really effective at the moment.
Laurie, certainly the body language tells me he's very, very tired. And strangely, I think he's winning this round while Darren Hepburn's right on top of him with aggression. Cant has had the cleaner, harder scoring punches, and he's hurt Darren a couple of times this round. That's a dangerous right hand. Every time he hits it, he almost hits the mark.
Certainly a war of attrition here, as Hepburn hit with another right hand from Laurie Cant. Smothering Laurie Cant, perhaps getting in a little too close here, Darren Hepburn.
Well, I think Hepburn's fallen into the what he was doing in the early part of the rounds, where he's trying to smother Laurie Cant and walking into all of those big bombs. That's a good round, good, close, hard round.
End of round number 6. Third of our Queensland titles on the line here, and don't forget our feature event is coming your way next. And certainly looking forward to the clash between Wayne PARR and ABDUL RASHEED. As I mentioned, I spoke with Julian Holland yesterday at great length, and is at the moment now starting to get serious in terms of his next battle. It took him some time to recover from the Shannon Taylor fight. He had a nasty cut over his right eye, also had problems with his hands as well. But Brad, from a Commonwealth perspective, what are the options really for Julian Holland? Have we had any challenges coming from the other countries in the Commonwealth?
We have. We've had one challenge come from England for Julian. I just can't, the name of the fighter just is beyond me. We've also had a challenge from Jeff Flash Malcolm to Julian Holland just recently for a fight in New Zealand, and the Holland camp have turned it down. They've got they're going in another area, and Jeff is on the verge of world rated with the WBA, and I don't think that they thought there was any value in fighting Jeff. And of course, he's an old fox. He's a dangerous opponent, and oh gee, Laurie Cant comes out here as he really wants to start teeing off on Darren Hepburn, but it's a hard, dangerous fight for Julian, and I think the psychological and the effort that Julian put into Shannon Taylor. He's always been in the shadows of Shannon Taylor, and then for him to overcome Shannon was a big relief. So, but all bodes well for a very, very competitive year for Julian Holland. And I think Murray Thompson needs a good pat on the back. He's done a terrific job down there against the odds. He's done tremendous promotions down there. He gets a crowd of 2,000 and 3,000 and 4,000 people down there. All his fights are immaculately matched. And of course, he's taken Julian to another level, in my opinion. So I know that they're talking about fighting perhaps up here in Queensland. They're talking about fighting in Melbourne. They're talking about fighting perhaps over in England. So the options are many and varied for Julian Holland at the moment.
Yes, and Murray Thompson's Fighters Factory there at Blackburn. Hello to all the boys down there. I'm sure they're tuning in and watching this.
And haven't they got a spring in their step now that Julian Holland has got the Shannon Taylor monkey off his back, if you like, you know. But haven't we got a welterweight fight on our hands here?
Certainly have. Middle stages, round number 7. Darren Hepburn in the black trunks, Laurie Cant in the blue. Cant won the first 2 rounds. And Darren Hepburn turned the tide in round 4. Here we are in round number 7, and Laurie Cant has put his foot on the accelerator again. Hepburn's been working away at the left rib cage of Laurie Cant throughout the fight, and surely eventually it will take its toll. This time working upstairs, Hepburn.
He's trying lots of little things, Darren Hepburn. He's not giving up. He's trying lots and lots of little Southport or orthodox switch hitting, switch. He's changing his foot, trying to come from different angles. And Laurie still has some sting in his punches, but he's just standing in front of Darren Hepburn, and you'll notice that Laurie Cant is going backwards in a straight line. He needs to be able to move to the side and not get tagged by Darren Hepburn. Just as I say that, he comes back with a couple of very good punches to him.
Right hand from Laurie Cant again. Hepburn just finding it difficult to get a clean shot away. And standing in so close, Laurie Cant's been able to club him with the overhand right. End of round number 7, and an entertaining one at that. Ricky Budgeon, Phil Austin, Cyril Cairns, our 3 judges at ringside. And their hands full at the moment. I think it's not an easy fight to score. But just finally on the Julian Holland situation, when I spoke with him yesterday, he told me he was a little reluctant to defend the Commonwealth title overseas in Great Britain, primarily because they still use a system where the referee also judges the fight. Now, Brad, everyone around the world will tell you that is archaic. Will they ever catch up?
John, we've been trying. We've lodged protest after protest. I attended the Commonwealth Council meeting a couple of years ago there, and exerted my association's absolute annoyance at this single referee, and the rest of the world don't have one single man. You know, I mean, we did that back in my day in TV ringside, and the referees and judges there did the referees then did a very good job. We are now in the year 2000. I believe that they need to be able to move along with the times and move into, you know, we've got 3 competent judges who can...
And 4 at the Olympics.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
And surely for a referee, it's so tough to actually not only referee a fight, is a big enough ask in itself, let alone score it.
Absolutely. Let me tell you that when I'm refereeing a fight, and if I was to stop this fight now and ask referee Wally Lewis who was winning this fight, he would not know. He would not know, nor should he, because his concentration is on the welfare and safety of these 2 fighters. He doesn't need to be burdened with the fact that, oh, I've got to score this fight. And there's been some monumental blues over there. I mean, one comes to mind is Kevin Kelly and, what was his name? We lodged a protest. The name just doesn't come to me at the moment, but that was the worst decision I've seen in a long, long time. And talking about Kevin Kelly, I spoke with Jeff Fanning today, who informs me that Glenn Kelly has been undergoing tests, and they found a virus with Glenn that just takes his strength away and takes his muscles. I mean, as you know, Glenn Kelly is a very, very fit young man, but Jeff was very concerned about his performance in his last 2 fights. So they've run tests on him. He's anemic. Can you imagine an Aboriginal being anemic? And good luck to you, Glenn, if you're watching. And I know that you're on the verge of some big things, and I know that you're going to do Australia proud. And as we watch Darren Hepburn just start to tee off on Laurie Cant, Laurie's just starting to hold a little bit now.
Glenn Kelly's been in the wings waiting for almost 2 years to fight Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. is in Sydney at the moment making a movie.
Absolutely, the Matrix movie, and Jeff told me that Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. looked him up yesterday, and they went and had lunch together and had a bit of a chat, and Roy has expressed a real desire to want to fight Glenn Kelly here in Australia, in Sydney.
Let's hope that is the case.
Fantastic news. And I know there's a lot of people out there that don't give Glenn Kelly much of a chance against Roy Jones Jr., but let me tell you, the kid has got nothing to lose. And I believe that he will have a very, very good account of himself. Maybe he might not win, maybe he will. He could pull off the greatest upset in the century of Australian boxing and do it in front of his home crowd. So well done to you, Jeff Fennick, and well done to Glenn Kelly. And I hope that, Glenn, you get back on the podium very, very quickly and get training and get that virus out of your system.
Concluding stages here, round number 8, and Laurie Cant does not have a lot of petrol left in the tank. He's holding on for dear life here. Darren Hepburn continues to unload solid shots to the body as we come to the conclusion of round 8. Certainly getting on top now. Darren Hepburn, Laurie Cant's fitness starting to tell. 2 rounds remaining for the Queensland welterweight title to be decided.
Isn't this what professional Queensland boxing is all about, when you've got a Queensland title on the line and both boys are giving their all? As we've seen in every fight tonight, they've been very, very well matched, and I have to say congratulations to the matchmaking efforts of Jamie Meyer. It's been a terrific effort.
That's all it is to it. You're making all the pressure. Backing him up, jab him, you back him up, jab him to the chest and right hand to the head. Double your right hand after it. It's there to be done. Come from Kieran O'Connor. No waiting on him, Darren.
Seconds down. Round 9.
Come on, guys, out the ring.
Underway, round number 9 for the Queensland welterweight title. Darren Hepburn now in front by a point, according to Brad Vicali. I have it likewise, 77-76. Hepburn in the black. A slow starter here. First 2 rounds went in the direction of Laurie Cant. And I have Darren Hepburn winning the last 2. Started to turn the tide of the fight in round number 4. And Hepburn now just appears to be a lot more sharper. Hepburn again stalking Laurie Cant, aiming for an opening. He's taken a lot of punishment, Laurie Cant, particularly to the body.
Hepburn's been effective with just those little punches. He's not trying to tee off on Laurie. He's not trying to load up. He's just trying to score clean scoring punches. That's all he had to do to win that fight. That's a beautiful right hand.
And answers with a flurry of his own, but Darren Hepburn didn't even flinch. Just stood there trying to size him up and land some artillery of his own.
This is a close, hard-fought fight, John, isn't it? Big right hand by... You can feel the power in those punches of Laurie Cant, can't you?
Hepburn, refusing to acknowledge them, just continues to burrow in.
Stand there in front of him.
Hard not to be impressed by the courage of both men. And Laurie Cant retreats into the corner.
Beautiful uppercut by Cant.
It's partially deflected, but still a scoring punch. And that is one thing we can say for Laurie Cant. The accuracy of his punches has been largely superior.
But, gee, isn't he like a dog at a bone, Darren Hepburn? He's not going anywhere. He's just standing in front of Laurie Cant, taking what he can give, giving his own back as well. He's taken the best of Laurie Cant. Laurie Cant's punches appear to be harder and more effective, but Darren Hepburn just walking straight through them. I just wonder how much more Darren Hepburn can take of these hard punches, but he's got Laurie Cant on the back foot.
Laurie Cant obviously very fatigued, resting up against the ropes, just swaying away from the punches of Darren Hepburn. I saw Jay Washington try that in an earlier bout. He paid the penalty.
Stuck, he did. Actually, he's fighting quite effective on leaning against those ropes, Cant. He hasn't got a lot of petrol in the tank, but he's brought Darren Hepburn into his mode of fighting.
Stop, Ollie, stop, Ollie, stop. Stop, step back.
Well, pinned on the ropes there for almost 50 seconds or so. And while Darren Hepburn was wailing away, Laurie Cant was sporadic in his punches. He was landing the cleaner punches.
But they were clean, hard-scoring punches, and that's what the judges will be looking for tonight.
End of round number 9. 1 to go to decide the Queensland welterweight title. And what a thriller we have going here between Darren Hepburn and Laurie Cant. Some of the better action from round 9. Darren Hepburn trying to find a target. Laurie Cant's timing his a little better. And that will bring us to the 10th and final round, and I have them locked together at 86 apiece.
And I do as well,
Brad
John.
McCarley has 86 apiece. I should point out, though, that not every round we have together matches up, but we've come to the same tally. It's probably a fair result, but they should decide the state title here in the last round.
Last round, yes. It's been a fight that's been a seesawing fight all along, and these boys can both hold their heads up high.
10th and final round. The Queensland welterweight title is on the line. 86 points apiece. And Laurie Cant in the blue trunks, Darren Hepburn in the black. It is all on the line here.
And they're going at it. Oh, big punches by Laurie Cant. He's going at it. I think he realises he's got to put in a big effort in this last round to pull it out.
Well, it's so close. The judges
got a second wind.
Will decide this here in the last round. Hepburn a little more watchful now. This is the first time we've seen Laurie Cant on the attack for 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah. He hurt Darren with that flurry of punches at the beginning of the round. Oh, beautiful left and right by Laurie Cant. Hepburn still stands in front of him. By golly, he's a dog at a bone is Darren Hepburn. Beautiful left hook by Cant again.
Clash of heads as well.
Oh, yeah. Hasn't this been a terrific fight?
Unbelievable war. We trust you have enjoyed it here on Fox Sports. Our feature event is still to come. Oh, big right hand from Hepburn. Oh. That shook Laurie Cant.
It did.
Step back, step back.
There's that good left lead, powerful right hand, right uppercut by Laurie Cant.
Stop holding.
Hepburn still stands in front of him, lefts and rights to the body. It's just starting to become a little bit scrappy now, but as you can understand, after 30 minutes of fighting, these boys are still hard at it.
Both men almost out on their feet, digging very deep again. Laurie Cant just swaying away on the ropes.
Oh, gee, Hepburn's all over Laurie Cant at the moment. Laurie comes up with a big, wild left hook. Just missed the mark. Big right hand by Hepburn. He's got Cant in his own corner. Not letting him out. Uppercut right hand by Hepburn. He's coming home strong.
Final 60 seconds of this war.
As the pair exchange right hands.
Laurie Cant has very little petrol left in the tank.
He's got none, John. He'll be down at the service station filling up. I can tell you, he's really tired as Laurie Cant.
Stop. Separate, thank you.
And let the fans show their appreciation at the end of this 10th round.
Terrific effort. Good, clean scoring punches by Cant. While he looks tired, his body language tells me he doesn't want to be there. He's still scoring with clean, hard punches over Darren Hepburn, and Darren's smothering him punches. A lot of those punches aren't quite hitting the scoring parts, so they're hitting the arms, around the side of the head, and this pair are just go. Unbelievable. What a terrific fight. Worthy of a worthy of an Australian title.
Well, really, there doesn't deserve to be a loser. Who knows, we might still get a draw, but what a finish. The Queensland welterweight title goes 10 tough, furious rounds. Laurie Cant and Darren Hepburn are going to be separated, or will they, by the judges. What a finish. The third of our Queensland titles on the card tonight. And With due respect to Danny Wilson and Dale Hawke, Darren Hepburn and Laurie Cant have put on a tremendous battle. Just some of the action from the 10th and final round. Remembering that both myself and Brad Vicali had them locked at 86 apiece going into the final round. I think Darren Hepburn might have done enough to get across the line in the last round.
Well, I've actually given the last round to Laurie Cant by virtue of those tremendously clean, hard-scoring punches at the start of the round. He faded a little bit in the middle part of that round, and he came home with just a couple of clean punches towards the end. I've got Laurie Cant winning by 1 point. I think, Case, you've got Darren Hepburn winning by a point, and where our judges stand, I just don't know.
Well, let's find out. Andy Raymond is standing by.
He's just waiting for I think this, they're double-checking.
Well, and so they should, because a draw would not surprise.
Wouldn't it be a terrific effort? And Ricky Bugden, Cyril Cairns, and Phil Austin. And a good performance by referee Wally Lewis. He had control of that fight the whole way through. At never at any stage was he in any danger of letting the control of this fight go. And as the money comes into the ring for both boys.
Jamie Meyer, the promoter there, just in the corner with Darren Hepburn.
Yep.
And
he can be well pleased, Jamie Meyer, because he's matched a tremendous fight here. Two very, very equal opponents. I guess you couldn't get them any closer than that.
No, and no surprise that the judges' tallies have taken some time. John Hogg, the supervisor over there, has handed the sheet to Wally Lewis at centre ring. And Andy Raymond won't be too far away. 96-95 for Laurie Cant is the way that Brad Vicali's seen it. I have the same score, but I have Darren Hepburn in front, 96-95. That's all immaterial. Here is the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, we were on the line. The Queensland welterweight title went the distance. Two very willing participants. We go to the judges' scorecard where we have a split decision. Judge Phil Austin scored the bout 97-95 Cant. Judge Cyril Cairns scored the bout 96-94 Hepburn. And Judge Ricky Bugden scored the bout 98-92 for your winner, Lightning Laurie Cant.
Come here. A little bit of differentiation in the score there in one judge, but what a tremendous fight.
Not uncommon. Laurie Cant gets it. He wins on points in a split points decision over 10 rounds and takes the Queensland welterweight belt.
And both of those fighters can really hold their heads very, very high.
Oh, tremendous battle. Cyril Cairns had Darren Hepburn winning by 2. So Ricky Bugden, we had Laurie Cant winning by 6. And Phil Austin had Laurie Cant winning by 2. Split points decision. I'm sure he's a very happy man. And Andy Raymond will try and get a word with the new champ.
The new champ, Laurie Cant, and Darren Hepburn made it a very tough day at the office for you tonight.
Yeah, very tough, mate. Flu, unfit, 3 years being out for a while. It takes its toll when you got to come back and try and win a Queensland title. And just like that with a tough opponent like Hepburn. He was very strong, pushed me around a lot. kept me moving, kept me swinging my punches. But yeah, it was a tough fight. But yeah, it worked out, came through.
Difficult fight always when the statistics, height and reach go one way. He certainly had that advantage. He wants to stay on the outside. You want to get on the inside. I mean, it's always going to be tough.
Yeah, oh yeah. Strong, very strong opponent. Yeah, I just try to get inside, but he's just strong, pushed me around a lot.
Well, you got your way. You got the belt, and congratulations. Laurie Cant, the new Queensland champion.
Queensland welterweight champion Laurie Cant speaking there with Andy Raymond. Australian welterweight rankings at the moment. Sitting atop them very proudly. Fred Knuthia, the first of the new breed of Australian boxers. He's won the title. And Julian Holland, of course, had to vacate after taking the Commonwealth title. Shannon Taylor, Justin Rousseau, Lincoln Stewart, Stevie Marks in the top 5. And, well, a very close decision there between Laurie Cant and Darren Hepburn. We saw a very close decision with Anthony Mundine recently. The news is he's going to fight Guy Waters next, Saturday, October 20, here with the Fox Sports Pubs and Clubs and on pay-per-view. It's live again from the Whitlam Centre in Sydney. He's already fought there once for a victory, and he's going back there, this time against Guy Waters.